Oh, buddy. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's what's going on. I'm sure you guys have heard this. I know the pre-orders for Best Buy and some of the affiliates were released, and today is a potential day. But here's my gut instinct: we're gonna run this probably until about 5 o'clock Eastern, United States, because I think that's the last possible time. There's a small chance this could happen today, but just remember, pre-order and trailer 3 have to go hand in hand, right? So what I think is, yes, they messed up. Yes, they put it out early. Um, but like these typically happen on a Tuesday, right? So tomorrow is a more likely chance if it's going to happen this week. I do think the pre-orders will happen sometime relatively soon because it's going to happen in conjunction with trailer 3. So yeah, we're just kind of, this is the Hopium stream. We're in the waiting room. We'll be talking about stuff. We'll be writing it out for like, what is this, like 3 o'clock, so like 2 hours or so. And then, just to make sure, because on the off chance they do something, we'll be like, oh man, we're on it. I think the most likely, if something's going to happen, is going to be tomorrow, which is Tuesday, which is May 19th. Those are typically times in the retail where people will do that kind of stuff. What's up? We got Devin. What's up, baby? What's up, baby? So yeah, we're just chilling. We'll be talking about this. We'll be pointing out some stuff that we see in the trailers, some stuff in the screenshots, and just talking all things GTA 6. Extremely pumped out of my mind for this game. My goodness. Yeah, this has been a long time coming. And hopefully, I don't want to like jinx it or anything, but like knock on wood, hopefully there's no delay, right? Because I mean, what would this be like the fourth one or something? Either way, it's going to be crazy. So we're going to kind of hang around, check some of the news, talk to you guys, and see what's going on because there's a slight possibility something could we should have motion today. But yeah, the fact that we're kind of seeing things behind the scenes, we're getting more kind of updates on the website, on the back end. If you kind of look at some of the code, you can see some changes. It happens on a regular basis, but there's more movement than typical. And the fact that we've got that leak, which I do think is real, maybe they do have the dates incorrect, but I think this is roughly the time when that would happen. So, and here's the other thing too. They wouldn't necessarily say if it was or wasn't, right? They'd just be like, "Hey, get your expectations," you know. And I think that window's a bit small. What was it, like the 18th to the 21st? What's up, Cake? Yeah, he says GTA is gonna be dope for real. He says I can't wait, dude. I'm so pumped for this game. It's gonna be unreal. And here's the thing, like my only big concern is like the storyline because I know some of the main writers and stuff like left. But on the okay, so like worst case scenario, let's say the storyline's kind of weak. I think the world would be so much like from what we've seen from the world, it looks crazy, and I think we can find our own fun that way. So that's kind of my instinct on that, right? Like even if in a worst case scenario, I think we're gonna have a blast with the game. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying, guys? Know what I mean, dog? Yeah, dude, it's gonna be so sick. I can't wait to see what the next trailer's gonna be too. So yeah, also there was talk out there. I know we can't really play the audio because there's music and stuff. We have our own music, but we can't. Here, you want me to? This might match it a little bit. Eh? I have to. I'll turn it down a little bit. Is it coming through? So yeah, there's word out there that somebody in the music industry or whatever was saying like they know maybe what the music's gonna be for the trailer. I heard it. I could see them doing it, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem to fit to me. I'm sure you could cut it and make it work, but here's the thing. The only way I think that song would work with this, I mean, the technology is amazing in this game, yes, but I mean, you've got something kind of slow paced and whatever, and then you're like juxtaposition of like all this crazy like detail in the game and all these things you can do, and just the fidelity of the game is crazy. So like it would work in that way, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem to fit to me. I could be wrong. I have no idea. But I think the likely thing that's going to happen is if this does happen this week, I think it's going to be Tuesday, May 19th. Did I say 18th? May 19th. So we'll see. I do think pre-orders are happening. Even if it doesn't happen this week, they got to be happening relatively soon. And they will happen around trailer 3. I don't think they'll be staggered. I think that's, you know what I'm saying? What do you think, guys? Let me ask you this. Let's go ahead and put this out there while we're chilling. Let me... Can I place the polls on there? Where's that at? Where are my polls? Where'd they put them? Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. It says, are you pre-ordering when it drops? Question mark. Bloop. And I'll add a third option. There we go. I think that's a solid. Here's the thing. I obviously this is a franchise that you really want to get into and like you're probably going to buy off the rip. But the industry has been so doo-doo butter as of late, right? Just the industry, not necessarily Rockstar. But I'm a little reluctant to drop a pre-order cash right until I see like some more kind of movement or like assurances that it's going to be. Do you know what I mean? It's so I don't know. How many games have you been burned on that have been AAA in the last 5-10 years? Know what I mean? But with that being said, I probably will pre-order it. You know what I mean? Dude, come on. Come on. Dude, it's crazy. Let's see. Devin says this game looks crazy. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Even if the story is bad, Devin, just like the fact that we're in this giant sandbox and with all these like tools and technology they put in place, like with the detail of the characters, the cars, the damage, all that stuff. Dude, it doesn't matter if the story is bad. Let's be honest. When you get this game, what do? Dude, for hours, I don't do the missions. I just drive around and cause mayhem. That's its own game. We know that. So like I said, worst case scenario, even if the story is bad, which would be a travesty because I think it's some of the best satire. It always has been. So if they go easy on the satire, it'd be like, woof, that kind of sucks. But like the sandbox will be so good, we can definitely have our own fun. I mean, that's its own game. Says, don't think any AAA game has spent half the time they've spent GTA 6. That's true. Like Take-Two and Rockstar are definitely kind of the exception to the rule too. They also do like the pay to win a little bit. So it's one of the few games we tolerate that. It's weird because other studios think that they can get away with that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, you got to be like an exceptional, above the norm kind of game for us to even consider that. Know what I'm saying, dog? Dude? Yeah, we'll point some stuff out in the trailer. Like I said, the game plan here is to hang out and let me just make sure the other trailer's also muted. Okay, good. I'm not trying to get copyright claimed. We're going to hang out here. I think the latest possible time we would see movement, and I don't think it's likely today, but there is a slim possibility, I think, for like the next hour and 45 minutes. And then we'll post up tomorrow earlier to kind of just wait and see, because I think that is the most likely time we're going to see something, because retail always does their stuff on a Tuesday. Take-Two, the publisher, there's no reason why they wouldn't follow that. There is a lot of hype around the game. To be fair, like, and this is like my perspective. I go on the back end and I see what files have been updated and when, and that happens on a regular basis on websites, but it does seem like there's a bit more than there typically has been. Again, that could mean a lot of different things, but with all the stuff that's kind of in play, I was like, there's something moving, right? Like we're seeing motion somewhere. So even if it's not this week, it's got to be relatively close. I mean, pre-orders, you know. You know what I forgot to check though? When is their fiscal year over for not Grand Theft Auto, for Take-Two Interactive? What's up, Jay? It says, hello, what's happening right now? Well, we're kind of just waiting out to see the most logical time frame that we would see something today. But as I said before, I think it's we're likely, if it is this week, I think we'll likely see something tomorrow, Tuesday. and I think it'll be a double hitter. It'll be the trailer, and I think it'll be a pre-order. There's no reason why they'd be like, hey, here's a pre-order, and then here's a trailer later. Like, you get the hype with the trailer, and then you go, ba-bow, pre-order. That's how that typically goes. That's how they've done it in the past. That's just the pattern, you know? The gaming industry juggernaut, said Evan. You were correct. It says this just isn't going to be a disappointment. It's just not. Or it says this just isn't going to be a disappointment. It's just not. Yeah, like I said, it would be a travesty if the story of this game wasn't as good as the other ones, because again, it's such a great look on modern like satire, just the current state of things. But again, and that would be sad because Grand Theft Auto has always had a way of doing it like in a funny way and very rude and crass. But even if that were the case, this game, the sandbox part of it, will be so amazing that we'll make our own fun. I mean, with all the, what is it, the GTA roleplay servers, and dude, I mean, just look at this game. Like, this was captured on a PlayStation 5. Like, what? That's crazy, man. Like, just look at this for a second, right? This was on a console. By the way, these are only going to get released on a console first. I kind of have an idea of why. I think because a lot of people like to pry open the files and stuff, and I think on consoles it's relatively secure, so it kind of lives better that way. You know what I mean? Here, let's switch to the other trailer, the first one. Beep boop. Man, there's so much detail in here. My goodness, dude, how many? I'm gonna be pretty hard pressed to play the story. When this thing starts, what's up, Russo? He says, "Where's the hot beef?" It's right here, dude. Earnings call May 21st. Ooh, Evan. Do you know what? Their earnings call is on the 21st, so it's in May. What better way to kick off your fiscal year than absolutely melting your books with the most coins you can stack in one place at one time? Because let's be honest, dude, the pre-orders are going to be a tidal wave of cash. What's up, boys? How we doing? Okay, so the poll right now, we got... Let me see. Okay, make sure my thing's still playing. And then we'll talk some more about some of the details. If you guys see details, we'll stop it and we'll talk about it too. Because there's so much going on in these trailers, and there's so much detail, and the fact that this is all capped in game, we can really like tell a lot. Just like the map project that they've been doing for this, you know. It's good like that. I gotta tell you, the cheeks physics looks great. It says, I have a hear me out question. Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead. By all means, sir. All right, our poll while we're waiting for him. We have 27% say that they're going to wait to see the price, which is totally understandable. 67% said yes, and 7% said no. So if you haven't voted in the poll yet, drop it. Do it, dude. So if you're joining us while we're waiting for Jay to respond, we are currently, we'll go ahead and do some screenshots and stuff because I think these are quite revealing. They did some relatively new ones. Again, this is all in game, which is crazy. If you're just joining us, today was a likely day that trailer 3/ pre-orders would drop. There is some speculation as to it being like separate, but honestly, they're going to be together. There's no reason why they would be separate. Typical days for these can be Tuesday or Thursdays. The most likely is a Tuesday if it's going to happen this week, as there was a Best Buy leak for affiliates to actually, was it like a 5% revenue share or something? Best Buy has come out and since said, or somebody from Best Buy has said, I don't even think it was a higher up, but like they said, hey, curb your expectations. They think they got the date wrong, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, the window seems a bit tight, but the timing is pretty close. Because again, we would see this pre-order stuff happen around this time. So if it's not this week, it's got to be soon. And since their fiscal year starts May 21st, I mean, guys, the next logical one would be later this week on a Thursday. Or next week. Either way, May is kind of a hot month for this kind of stuff. Like I said, what better way to start your fiscal year than to shred your books with the most pre-orders you've ever seen? Dude, let's be honest. When this game comes out, the world's going to stop. It's going to be a skeleton crew running everything else, right? People that, like my Nana And my mom will be like, you know, what's happening today? No, like they're the only ones that are gonna be like around doing stuff in real life. This is rock. Okay, here we go. Here's Jay said, hear me out question. Rockstar won't announce anything about GTA 6 until GTA 5 is done. So Rockstar will post the trailer for GTA 5 Summer DLC the first week of June. To me, it sounds more reasonable to me. Yeah, I could see that. That's a solid, that's a logical stance. But we've also seen in other studios, and I'm not sure about Rockstar, we've also seen promotions happen after big, because like, what was it? It was Battlefield 6. There was a promo in between the time because it was 1 or 2 months after they did the pre-orders, so they ran like some promotional stuff happening inside of 2142. So it could be something like that to help burn the time. Because let's be honest, if the pre-orders happen around this time, that's a long time to wait. So what better way to do that than to go back to old GTA and then do it up? But you're right. It's a logical stance would be they'll also wait for that too. So I can see both sides, but it's definitely a good perspective and definitely a sound, logical position to take, I think. Yeah, I think if anything's going to happen this week, it's got to be tomorrow. I really do. I mean, there's a small chance we might get a little peep or something, but we'll ride it out for another hour and a half just to kind of make sure. I meant to get on earlier this morning, but I was up late, so we'll be up early tomorrow. Kind of on, we'll be watchdogs for this kind of stuff, you know? Mr. Russo, what's up, dude? How's the sleep? I understand too. If okay, here's another interesting thing for the chat. What if, when we don't know, what if they price it at $100? What are your thoughts on that? Me personally, it's for this game, I'm like, I think the base price should be where it's at now. But if the base price is at $100, this is a game where it's rare and like you have to be. I would do it for this game only. But the problem with that is it sets a precedence for the industry where they're like, well, now we can charge 100 bones for whatever. And it's like, dude, the garbage that's been coming out of like Ubi Slop and, you know what I mean? We're like, dude, I'm not paying $100 for that. I mean, look at the titles like, I mean, Subnautica 2 is in early access. That was like, what, $40? No, $30? Was it $30? And we have Ark Raiders that was $40. Bangers, dude, for like, you know what I mean? Less than the industry standard, which is crazy. Yeah, so I don't know. Like if we end up doing that or they end up setting around $100, the industry's going to be like, "Well, we can charge that now." And like I don't think the gamers will like that at all. I won't. I mean, it's a little bit different cuz I make content, but like I don't know. I get it though cuz dude, it's a nice hobby, but $100 per game is a little crazy. Devin Tip says he'd buy it for sure. Nice. Mr. Russo said sleep's got better tenfold. Nice. The schedule's the key, my guy. There you go. Sleeps through the whole night. That's key. My nieces were like that. Good stuff. Dude, I cannot wait for this game. I've been kind of like waiting back a little bit because I know we wanted to always kind of do content on this and also like kind of follow it, but I've waited for a while and I think now's the time to get pumped. So I have a feeling it'll be standard pricing, says Evan. He says, I read somewhere the Best Buy leak was intentionally from Rockstar. It was just to free marketing and pump up the value of Take-Two stock before earnings call in a few days. Hey, that's possible too. That's very possible. But I mean, think about it. If their fiscal year starts at the end of May, and we're almost at the end of May, what like the best way to start your fiscal year is to do the world's biggest pre-order. I mean, let's call it what it is. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It makes sense. What's our poll at now? We got about 59% that said they're gonna do it early, and 27%, which is reasonable, saying they're gonna wait on the price. I Yeah, I've been waiting on the price, or even like I've been waiting on pre-orders in general on other titles and other studios because I think they kind of have to earn that. This is the rare case where I probably will do the pre-order for sure, but this is the exception, right? Like there's other studios can't do that. Even really good titles, I still wait now. Yeah, Evan's got a good point. Yeah, there's so much freaking like buzz around this stuff. Just crazy. Lucia's cheeks look fantastic. Is that just me? The variation that they have in the NPCs and stuff is crazy. The system they have behind it to like procedurally generate the NPCs or even the characters is like the tech behind that's wild. We've seen some of that in like Star Citizen and stuff, but like it has a level of polish that's just unreal. Dude, is that supposed to be Miami? Miami is a shit show in real life for sure. I don't know if it's quite like that. I mean, I'm sure at times it is, but I lived in Florida for a bit, but not in Miami. Florida's crazy, for sure. Florida's crazy. Do not go in the muddy swamp water or mud. It's mutant mud. It says, how sure are we that the trailer will drop within the next 12 hours? 12 hours? I'd say there's a pretty high likelihood. I think that Best Buy leak had a lot of substance to it. I think the timing is off on that. I think they misfired something in the background. That's a solid question, King Size. I think today was a possibility, but I was still strongly leaning towards it being Tuesday. So most likely we'll see movement in the morning, and then it'll kind of the possibility of it happening will start to taper off as you start to approach like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern, EST, United States. So we'll see. So if you're talking, because this is a global franchise, clearly, if you're gonna do an announcement, it's probably gonna be anywhere between like a 9 a.m. to maybe like noon Eastern Standard Time. Typically, that's when you see it for like most titles. Says the Best Buy leak is probably a marketing advantage. Not gonna lie, it could be. I mean, knowing that their fiscal year stuff is at the 21st of May is very telling. But here's the thing too. I think it could easily be a misfire. I don't think they need to do that necessarily because if their fiscal year starts on the 21st, which is this Thursday, I mean, they drop a trailer in a pre-order, brother. It's over. Where's my bonus? You know what I mean? Can you imagine that? You're like, hey guys, we're starting off the year. Here's $1 billion today. Yeah, I think the Best Buy leak was real, and I think because they went through so many different third parties, um, just like the way those kind of work, from my experience, and I don't know that specific company, but you could have that like email blast kind of like misfire if somebody's not paying attention, especially if you had it on a schedule. So knowing that, because that happens, um, and depending on how that email is filled, sometimes there's variables to kind of show the dates and stuff. Maybe they had placeholders and somebody fired it off by accident. But I think there's a lot of validity to it. It's the question is when. I think it was real. I think it was a misfire. The question is when. If that makes any sense. If I don't make sense, let me know, because we're just talking, baby. Dude, I kind of want to just pop my car up on a curb and just see what kind of mayhem you can cause. It looks like you can cause a lot, right? You know how like the NPCs always dive out of the way and say crazy stuff? It's so entertaining. Even the one today, like what is it, Grand Theft Auto 5, is super funny, right? Can you imagine the stuff that these guys are gonna say? Dude, the whole first stream is just gonna be us wandering around, just seeing what kind of trouble we can get into. It's gonna be dope. Now, for content creators, I don't think we'll have access before anybody else. I really don't. I think it's gonna drop for everybody same time, which is I think is the way you should do it for sure. I don't know if I should say this on stream, but if there's ever a leak that we can get our hands on and play, I'm just saying, I might know a guy. Know what I mean? That might play it. Know what I mean? I don't think we can post on it, but I know. What was it? Grand Theft Auto 5, which came out on the one, right? On the Xbox One. That was like PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Um, that's crazy to think about too, right? I played that one early, but there was a massive leak. There were a group of hackers inside of a lot of game studios at the time, and they leaked full game. But the trick was, or the gotcha was, not the gotcha, but the thing was, you had to have an Xbox or PlayStation that ran unsigned code. Like I said, I might have known a guy, so we got to play. I got to see Grand Theft 5 well beforehand, like about a month ahead of time, which was sick. I mean, because you kind of want to play the storyline anyways. I can't wait to buy every Uber mock in the game and run all over the NPCs on the sidewalks instead of grinding. Yes, it's hell on earth over here. Why is that? Is it hot? It says they actually got that Miami vibe and aesthetic down very well. Yes, I was just commenting on that specific scene. Although I guess during an event it would probably be that nuts. Yeah, Miami is an absolute shit show in real life. Florida is a shit show in real life. Anywhere, but especially on the coast. Gulf Coast, Atlantic, doesn't matter. Hopefully my stream's catching up. I see the bit rate dropping here and there, so if it's choking, I apologize. It does look like we're gonna get a lot of like water type stuff too, right? Hey, hey. Was it released on? That's right. It was on the 360, and then they had like an enhanced version. That's great. You're right. That's how old that game is. You're right. You're right. And it was on the 360 because that was the system that you could Jade tag back in the day. Just saying. If you know, you know. I think Tom Henderson was right about the pre-order from August or July. I'm not sure. Put me up to date, Jay. What did Jay Henderson say? That is crazy. Okay, let's see what the pre-order poll is saying. We have 35 votes. 60% said yes, they're going to pre-order. 14% said no, and 26% said they're going to wait on the price. It says, yeah, because the online release was the day it shipped out on my first deployment. Oh, nice. No, you're right. It was the 360. That's crazy. Yeah, because it actually took a long time for people to hack the Xbox One. So yeah, if there was you're right. It was 360, 100%. Damn. So yeah, we're just kind of, if you're joining us, we're just riding this out to see. This, I think, up until about 5 o'clock Eastern is about the last possible time we would see anything today, whether it's a tweet, a trailer, the pre-release, or I'm sorry, the pre-order. I think what's likely to happen is if we see something this week, there's a strong possibility we have a Tuesday, and it's going to be both. I don't see why they would separate the two. It's going to be a trailer, and it's going to be a pre-order. And we all kind of know it's going to be trailer 3. And also, since we know the earnings call, their fiscal year starts on the 21st, which is Thursday, which is also another likely retail day. I think if nothing happens tomorrow, Thursday is a distinct possibility if anything's going to happen this week. Or possibly this month, but we'll see. May seems to be a pretty hot month for them because if their fiscal year starts, I'm trying to think like there would really be no reason why you want to delay any kind of like. You could just fire it off day one. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. Like in the business world, right? The fiscal year for a business, they get to choose it. So it turns out theirs is May 21st, which is Thursday. So typically, when you do these big pre-orders, especially the most anticipated game I think ever, you would want to put it at the beginning of your year because it makes your year look really good. That's usually how it works. right? Because then you can pay. If anything bad happens during the rest of the year, that is like your saving grace. But this is going to be like the craziest pre-order ever. So I think to start off their new fiscal year, I think they're going to drop the trailer and they're going to drop the pre-order and they'll be like, here we go. Says, do you think GTA will outsell Minecraft's 350 million copies sold? But that's over its lifetime, and that's a 10-year-old game. But this is also Grand Theft Auto we're talking about. Grand Theft Auto 5 is still going strong, which is crazy. Yes. Yeah, I think it has the possibility to beat that, sure. If this is as crazy as it looks, I'm going to say yeah. Butt cheeks. Is that a BBL? Is that what the old man's looking at? Dude, can you imagine all these trollops on the police cars you're driving by? You're like, should we smack that police car, dude? Probably. Henderson said that the pre-orders are going to launch August or July in a podcast the other day. Oh, there's a possibility, sure. If we don't see it around May, I think that's going to be our next big target. Although the fact that their fiscal year like ends and starts in May is, you know, my gut instinct's telling me, yeah, probably. You just kind of put on the old corporate hat and go, is this how they would do it? It makes sense to me. I mean, we'll cover all the stuff that's more likely for sure. I think this is our official like spin up for this stuff because I've been so excited for this. I'm kind of glad we didn't spin up earlier because we had that huge delay last year and that was a kick in the nuts. But I think now's the time. Yeah, I think we'll see something either Tuesday or Thursday if it's this week. And then we'll kind of have to wait and see what the rest of the stuff is for the, you know, like what kind of information they put out there. Because I know there's a lot of NDAs and stuff, but like sometimes what an official person or a person around it is not saying, but they're saying something else is also extremely telling. What's up? He says, cake, first week? I don't know. He says that might be a stretch. Oh, yeah, for the first week, yeah. Over its lifetime, probably, yeah. But yeah, there's no 350 million copies is what? That's more than the United States. So everybody in the United States would buy a copy? Isn't the population in the United States like 320 million? Roughly. Wait, sorry, Dew said earlier, I missed it about 4 minutes ago. He says, hey, what's happening? I just got off work. What's up? Okay, so today was a likely time where we would see a trailer 3 / pre-order as via the Best Buy leak that happened late last week. We do think that was a legitimate leak. I think it was a misfire and the dates were a little jumbled. Because and here's the thing, like what they said was maybe the dates were jumbled because maybe they're too tight because that window was like the 18th to the 21st, which is like what you're gonna do a commission thing for 3 days? Like that's you're out of your mind. Like that would be over a couple weeks. So maybe they misfired that. Maybe it's Tuesday, maybe it's Thursday. So because that date was the 18th, that's why we're all over this today. Again, the likelihood of this happening or getting any peep as we approach 5 o'clock Eastern is lower. But there's a possibility. That's why we're kind of doing this now and keeping everybody up to date. Tomorrow is most likely we're going to see something or hear something. What I think might happen is if that date is close from the Best Buy leak, I think we're looking at anywhere between 9 a.m. to like 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. If we're going to see anything tomorrow, I think it's more likely. Tuesday is the day where you do pre-orders and any kind of retail stuff because this is still tied to stores, even though most of us will be buying it electronically. But because of that, yeah, I think Tuesday is more likely. I think it's going to be both. I don't think it's going to be one or the other. I think you're going to do the trailer and people are going to go, what? And then they're going to go pre-order, bam. And here's another big, was it Jay that told us the fiscal year? Was it Jay? We did find out that their fiscal year end or beginning is the 21st of May. So that's this Thursday, which also makes a ton of sense. So I think the hot this week is definitely a potential, like high potential. We're looking at a Tuesday or a Thursday this week. So we'll see. That's why I kind of want to cover it to make sure that people know what's going on because there's been so much buzz happening, and I'm pumped out of my mind for this. I think 100 million on pre-orders and launch. That's a lot of pre-orders. We'll see. I mean, don't they typically share their numbers? Can't remember if they did or not, or if they do. My goal is to get, or it says, my goal is to get me a 5090 prior to the game's releasing for when PC version drops because the game's going to be insane on PC. Yes. I know this drops on console first, for sure. So, which is kind of good because think about it. The people that really poke through the files is cool, but it's also a double-edged sword because you kind of want people to experience the game and not have somebody be like, "Well, here's the ending," you know. So it makes sense. And this is something PC players don't like to talk about a lot, but like if you combine the console market is very large. I do both, all right? So I'm not taking sides, you know what I mean? I do PC, I do console. But what I'm saying is the console market, if you're talking Xbox and PlayStation, is ginormous. What's he say? Imagine Circo Loco records a Red Dead post. Records a Red Dead post on Tuesday, LOL. Who's this? Cake says he'll be right back. Okay, let me catch up in chat. It says, I think maybe hits PC till around that number first week in Say. It says, okay. Crazy to think we should have been playing it if the Pandy Wandy didn't happen. That messed a lot of stuff up for sure. I hope, okay, we talked about this earlier, but my only hesitation is, and it's still going to be a great game, even on the worst case scenario. So, like, if the storyline's weak, or they do, like, the kind of woke angle, because you're like, look, the furthest thing from woke is Grand Theft Auto. If you've been playing the franchise at all, or from the beginning, you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Now, if they have it in there and they're making fun of it, like they make fun of everything, which is the satire, okay. I think that'll be weird in the storyline if they somehow try to jam that down our throats, because you're like, that's definitely not what this game's about. It's satire. It's satire on everything, modern society. So like, I think that'll be weird if they do that, but I think the game will still be super strong to like just play in, right? So my only hesitation is maybe the storyline may not be as strong. It would really suck if they try to shoehorn that stuff down our throats like they did with what is it? There's like a million different. What's like the Star Wars stuff? What happened there, right? How do you poop the bed on that, guys? You have arguably some of the best IP in the world and the most passionate fans and the most passionate employees, and like literally, management messed that up. There's nobody else who messed that up. And how do you get things like Arclight, or how do you mess up Mandalorian, or how do you mess up was it Boba Fett? You know what I mean? So like, if the suits got a hold of it, I think the storyline could be weak, but I don't think it'll matter because this game's sandbox will be so amazing. I mean, just look, these trailers are all in game, right? This is captured on a PS5. That's nuts. So like, just imagine saying, okay, I'll just run around the city, so it'll be fine. Anyways, I'm going on a rant, and I don't remember where I was going with it, but what's up? He says, have you seen the Game of Wonder tweet? I have not. Let us know, Mr. J. Says, remember when I started to play GTA London a very long time ago, you could change the car's speed in a text file. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that was like when it was top down. Who's Tom Kane? Rip Tom Kane? I can't say I'm familiar with that. Tom Kane. Voice actor? Oh, I remember us. So I was going on a rant. And I think since the temperature kind of changed in society, I think a couple years ago, maybe a little bit more. I think probably after we came out of the pandemic, we were all kind of like, all right, enough's enough. maybe some of this polish layer that they're doing on this, and this is just me spitballing here. Maybe they're reworking some of the more weird story points that maybe people will be like, what? This is the voice actor. Oh, okay. Not like Rust graphics. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no kidding. How do we feel about Rockstar's decision not to send any review copies out? Probably good, because this game's so crazy. They would have a hard time keeping a lid on it. Yeah, this is such a crazy exception. So like everything, like seriously, the world's going to be a ghost town when this drops on the 19th, right? If it still holds, right? Fingers crossed. I don't want to jinx it, knock on some wood. But like if this like it still drops on the 19th of November, dude, who's gonna be outside? Not me. I'm clearing the board. I'm taking paid leave. You know what I mean? I'm getting monstrosities. I'm getting snacks. I'm gonna get sweaty when we're streaming. We're gonna get sweaty. And I don't think you'll have to worry about me ruining the story for you because I think most of our time is going to be spent driving around causing absolute chaos. And dude, I'm down for doing that for days. Then I'll start the story, like days in real life, and then I'll be like, okay, it's been a week. Okay, let's do the intro mission. Anyone else taking the same path? So what's the latest news on GTA 6? Well, today was a possibility as the Xbox, the Best Buy leak said May 18th, starting pre-orders. And they have since said, or somebody from Best Buy, it doesn't seem like they're that high up, but they did kind of say in vague terms they got some things wrong, which to me is probably the length of the campaign, 3 days. I do think if that is going to happen, it's going to happen tomorrow, most likely, although there's a small chance we might hear something today. That's why we're going to stream for like another hour and 20. I think about 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern is like good, and then we can reconvene tomorrow. I think Tuesday is more likely. If it does drop, it's going to be 2. It's going to be the launch trailer, or I'm sorry, not the launch trailer, trailer 3, and then it's going to be the pre-orders. Boom, right there. At the very end of the credits, it's going to say what systems it's on. It's going to say pre-order now, and you're going to go, bleh! That's going to happen, right? So the question is it going to happen Tuesday? Is it going to happen this Thursday? We don't know. High possibility for movement this week. That's why we're going to be all over this. So tomorrow we're going to be up early and doing a long stretch of this. I'll try to come up with some more stuff. I mean, it's cool that we're watching loops and like talking about stuff, but I'll try to get some more stuff I've kind of like seen in the trailer that we can get excited about. Because, dude, we're getting this game. Are you kidding? So yeah, he says I read something saying that they may do in-house reviews and make people sign extremely strict NDAs. Okay, he says my wife has already been forewarned about what's going to take place when GTA 6 drops. That makes sense if they do. Sure. They said Best Buy may have leaked Grand Theft Auto pre-orders going live Monday. They said back, it says update they didn't. I did see that one, but like if you read the wording on it, the person is like, you're like, okay, how would you know what I mean? Do you know? Is that a position that would know? And also, it's the wording is very vague. Either way, movement, motion in this area that we're very excited about. Yes. Says I'm going for a disc copy and not buying on console. I'm gonna go digital. I booked a month off of work to play GTA 6. See, Tyrone knows what's up. Yeah, dude, get your paid time off, right? Like you got your vacation time, your PTO. Do it. That's the time. Or practice your sick voice, or all the above. Dude. Okay, so hold on a second. We just saw this in the trailer. Okay, we should start a new poll. Okay, guys, what do you think of when you see the beach here? Just anybody. First thoughts in chat. Go. What? Right? What are you gonna do? I just want to know if I'm thinking the same thing. You okay? Do you see all the bowling pins lined up? Am I wrong here? Tell me. Tell me in chat. After I see some, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Man, this game has come a long way too. From like that top down, which was a blast, two-dimensional game, to this. Remember old school Vice City? Dude, this looks insane. Let me see this. The car density is wild. 4 weeks paid leave and then 2 weeks sick pay. Boom! Dude, he knows what's up. Tyrone, you know what's up. That's the way to do it. It really is. The best thing in the world is doing a staycation, a paid time off, and then doing like a game release you've been waiting for forever. Dude, look at the car density. I know you guys can't see my cursor, but look at the car density down the strip here. That's crazy. The density of NPCs. Again, this is on PS5, right? I mean, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are face melters. There's no doubt. And they've clearly squeezed out crazy performance. Dude, what? Look at, you've got like a, that's nuts. Here, if we pause another one, I'll try to do it like and click over to like the website and we'll point stuff out on the screen. Will we get more stuff in Rust and everything we want in Rust before GTA 6 comes out? Dude, that's a great question. I keep saying this in my Rust videos, and you're right. I think anybody who is not aware of this dropping and doesn't plan for it is asking to get just metaphorically kicked in the nuts. Right? Like, why would you take the... Dude, this is going to be the world's biggest pre-order, no doubt. No doubt. You guys want to see some more of the... Okay, you know what? I thought these kind of worked well with the... Although we were on trailer 1 for a minute. Here, let's start this one over. Now, this is my music I'm playing on top of it that I have license to. Oops. I stopped the other one. Oops. Oops. Your boy's not good. Okay, ready? See if this works. Oh, way bigger than Battlefield, brother. I'm trying to get the timing right. Hold on. Rust is still in beta stage. I think when it kicks up tempo, should be right here. I think it probably fits the first one better. I think there's a couple moments where the music kind of matched and it gave me goosebumps for a second, but you'd have to like kind of chop up the music a little bit for it to work. And obviously it's a bit slower paced, and I think it fits better with trailer one. But it was fun to kind of play that over the top there for a second. Okay, let's go switch to the other trailer. I'm sorry, trailer one or no slideshow. New girls, new food, open all night. If you're just joining us, we are riding out the last bit of time, I think, today for any potential communication or potential drops. I think the drop is very unlikely at this point during the day, today, Monday. I think it's going to be a Tuesday. I think it can start as early as 9 a.m. Eastern, United States, and all the way up until about 2 or 3 p.m. I think if anything's going to happen, it's going to be in that window tomorrow. But it's possible we see a tweet, a little hint, a squeak, a something today, and there is an off chance they could just drop it as well. So that's why we're kind of chilling here, and also to answer any questions people have. Because I'm pumped. I'm sure you guys have questions too. I got excited once I saw the Best Buy stuff. I was like, my goodness. We got our pre-order question on the board here. It says, are you going to be getting the pre-order when it drops? 64% said yes. 15% said no. 21% said they're waiting to see the price. $100 is going to be steep for a base. $100 is steep. People keep saying that, but we don't actually know. It's promising that like Marathon and Ark did like a $40. But to be fair, those were probably going to be free-to-play models, and then they realized that live service is kind of rough. I mean, I think Fortnite is proving that now. It was smart that they made it cost something at $40, and then they still have the live service type stuff on top. Dude, for me, Ark Raiders, $40, well worth it. Anybody else? I don't know. I just hope that those things kind of helped maybe change the industry's mind. I don't know if it changed Rockstar's. They've spent so much money, and this has to be an overwhelming success. Or they're in trouble. You know what I mean? Not that they're on the brink of anything, but from what we've seen so far, the game looks amazing. It looks insane. The type of detail they've got going on here. The car density, the NPC density is crazy. The lighting, the details are just the simulation and that they have in the bottles for the waters. Like, how are they doing that? Right? That's on every container that's in range. Let's see, let me make sure I catch up on chat. Bleep. Oh, I missed it, Jay. You erased it. It says, I got the money sitting right here. It says, Red Outlaw. I think less than 100 million for pre-orders, 70 to 120 million pre-orders. You think so? Like money or units? Says we got PS Plus price hike before GTA 6. Dude, that's rough. Dude, and the price hike on the system. I get it, but also we're gamers, so that hurts a lot. Like, I get how it happened, but it doesn't mean we're happy about it. Yeah, I think tomorrow is strong likelihood. I think something around Thursday if we don't see something Tuesday. Dude, if they just imagine this, if they just tweeted something, even if it's like ... I'm gonna jump out my window on the first floor, right? Bah! Can you imagine they just go ellipses and you go what? Is that right? Ellipses, or is it just ... Is ellipses ... I don't know. I have such a headache today. My office is a heat box. Says I like the pre-order prices. Do we know what they are yet? Oh. Hey, there it goes. my chat disconnected for a second. YouTube, sweet. Can you imagine this though? Like what the real world's gonna be like and how desolate it's gonna be. I almost want to like find all those different webcams that are set up in like streets and stuff, like around in like big cities, and get like a sample the day before, and then just take another sample like the day of, and just be like, look how noticeably thin that is, dude. We're all gonna be inside playing this, or we're gonna be at our job thinking about it, and then rushing home, or even rushing home for lunch and going, screw eating, I'm playing this. I've done that so many times. I can tell you how many times I've showed up to like big important meetings and just completely tired. And you know, people are like, "Dude, you look rough." I was like, "Yeah, dude. I had to defend the base." you know. And they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "Don't worry about it." People that aren't gamers are like, "You been drinking?" You're like, "No." Free Ark. The base was getting attacked. No, I don't drink alcohol, sir. It's pretty bad if you're putting out that vibe. Hey, but the base is the base, right? You got to defend it. 70 to 120 bucks. I think if they have like they kind of entice us with some other additions that are higher priced, that's fine. But make the baseline, reasonable. I could see them. This is the type of game where if they charge 70 bucks for a baseline, I'm okay with spending that because it's Grand Theft Auto. And I would be more enticed to do a higher purchase because it's Grand Theft Auto. Now, other game studios cannot take that liberty, okay? They have burned that goodwill a long time ago. Anybody else feel the same way? Do we get anybody else to say what they're going to do down the... Nobody took the bait on that one? Dude, don't you just want to drive down that beach? Just pop the curb of the car in-game and just go, how many things can I go down here before the police notice? What time does it drop? We don't know. Rockstar's website down for anyone else? I have mine cached. Hold on. Let me see. It appears to be loading. No, that's good. I did see, and I mentioned this earlier in the stream, I did notice, because if you get behind the scenes a little bit, you can see like when files have been, like the versions have been updated and stuff, and there has been some movement. I did try to, I always try to do this, I did try to go behind the curtain a little bit to see what kind of files maybe I could poke at that weren't front-facing yet. I didn't see anything. I would tell you if I did. Baby girl, I would tell you. Because sometimes, like, before they do a big release, they'll stage stuff, and sometimes you can kind of see it if you. It doesn't take much looking. I didn't see anything yet, but then again, they're a pretty well-polished company at this point, so I think they would have that fairly well hidden. But I check it every time for big releases. This is what I'm talking about. You telling me the first day one? Oops, I paused the wrong trailer. That you can't see. Dude, you telling me you wouldn't pop the curb and just go BAM down the middle of this thing? That's the first thing I think of is like, how far can we go before the cops notice? Right? It's Grand Theft Auto. You got to push the limits. You getting access tonight? That's weird. Website's working for me in Sweden. Yes, I'm in the United States. It's working for me. Although mine could be cached. I did pop a manual refresh. Here, we can, let me pause this a second. Dip-a-dip. 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 Yeah, we're looking good over here. Yeah, it's running. I already had it open, brother. I'm waiting. It's good looking out, though. Yes. Yeah, I think 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, United States, is the last possible time I think today we would see any movement. That's why we're going to go for about another hour. We'll keep talking. Tomorrow we're going to start early and just kind of be chilling like this a little bit. I'll have some more like detailed stuff we can kind of look at. Kind of talk about what we're going to do, theorize like some stuff that we already know, and like that's in the game. Jason Lucia have always known the deck is stacked against them, but they want an easy score goes wrong. It says they find themselves on the dark side of the sunniest place in America. Do you think it's too late to drop now? No, like I said, I think I've seen releases happen all the way up until about 5 p.m. I don't. It's rare to see anything much beyond that. That's why I was like, statistically, I think 5 p.m. is a good cutoff point. I want it now. I also want it now. I want it now. Actually, my slideshow isn't playing. What am I doing? What are we doing? Yes. It's more likely Tuesday is going to be the spot. I think somebody's trolling. Let's just check. Somebody goes, the pre-orders are open. I was like, let's just see. Let's see. Nope, just says coming. Now, another telling sign of this is when their website goes to like a 404 or like under construction. You see that with like Apple stuff. They're like, hang on a second, we're updating the website. You can go, it's gonna happen. Okay, just to show you what we're looking at. I don't see anything down here. This still says it could be Lucia, it could be whatever. I don't think I have my graphic acceleration on. Dude, the amount of resources this webpage is using for the scroll is crazy. Yeah, no, I've been checking the website while everything's been playing. While we have been talking, yeah, we would see something down here. It would be immediate. Like they have one page kind of staged, and then they turn this one off and they turn the other one on. Or they take this page, they take it down, and then they got to upload everything else, and it takes like 5 or 10 minutes. That's usually how it happens. So, I don't see it yet. Get Rockstar propaganda. Please propagandize me to the game. Yes. I gotta be honest. Like seeing Red Dead Redemption 2, like, and it's been a while ago, and seeing the amount of detail they're able to pull out in the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and just the tech they had was a nice preview as to what this is going to be. And then seeing the in-game footage here rendered on a console is crazy. And you're like, dude, this is going to be nuts. You're nuts. My nuts. That looks like Stavos. Doesn't it? Dude, I wonder if they're going to have like stand-up comedy routines like they did in what was it, 3 or 4? Was it 4 where you could go in like see Cat Williams and like Ricky Gervais? Remember that? You go in the club and they like mocapped somebody's like set. I think there was like 3 different sets you could watch. Says, do you think next week might be getting something or a slim chance this week? I think this week has a strong possibility. Their fiscal year starts on the 21st of May, which is another reason why I think this week has a lot of potential because of the sheer fact that when their fiscal year starts, like a lot of times either you'll see a company sit like right on the line, like just at the end, and have it go into the new year, so you've got like good numbers for last year and the good numbers for this year kind of thing. I've also seen it where they stack it at the very end. I've also seen it where they do their big releases right at the beginning of their fiscal year. Either way, we're on that fence. The fact that Best Buy leak came out, I think they had some dates incorrect, yes, but I think it's awfully close. I think the duration was probably off. Maybe off by a couple of days or whatever, but you don't have that queued up and ready to go because it was most likely a template unless you're getting close to it. Somebody was doing a test fire and accidentally fired it on the real list, and then they're like, oops. You know what I mean? Oops. It says today technically marks 6 months into the release. So high chance it would, I think. Yes. Tuesday is more likely because that's the retail day where most of these things happen, and we do know their fiscal year starts the 21st of May. So, yeah, I'm strongly looking at Tuesday and Thursday because of that. So we'll be up covering a lot of this tomorrow. Good stretch of it. Is there any particular game you want me to play GTA while we're talking and waiting? Or do you guys don't mind this a slideshow or a combination of whatever? You guys don't care? Is there a timer or something, or are we just sitting here? I'm setting like a timer till about 5 p.m. because that's about the latest you would see something, or even a tweet or whatever, or a drop. And then tomorrow we're gonna start typically where they would drop it on like a global schedule, so like 9 a.m. to about 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going off of like how the industry typically does it and how they've done it in the past. So these are the windows. There's motion, there's movement behind the scenes. You can feel it, dude. This is Rockstar is probably just silent dropping it. Oh, dude, that's the thing. They don't need to hype anything up. They just bloop. That's why I'm saying like there's a possibility still until about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm like, let's just wait, you know? Because, dude, watch. The time I shut it off and then I was like, check this out. It's the drop. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my mind. Ana Lucia, LDC. It's Lucia. It's not Ana Lucia, is it? This isn't Fast and the Furious, guys. Come on. Are you buzzing? I'm buzzing. Next week, Friday. Friday's unlikely. You typically see it on a Tuesday or a Thursday. You can see it in between, but Tuesday's the most likely. Yeah, right. Because when you enter trailer 3 is gonna be out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, hey, let's just take it till 5, because I don't see anything happening beyond that today. So yes, the Hopium is up until about 5, so about 45 minutes. Tomorrow is like that's prime time. So yeah, starting on a global schedule like 9 a.m. makes sense. So we're gonna start it around there. Like I said, do you guys want to see me playing like Grand Theft or something while we're chilling, or you guys are indifferent? Wow. I hit my mic. Right now our poll is at 64% said yes, they will do the pre-order. 18% said no, and 19%, which is a very reasonable position, they say they're gonna wait to see what the price is. So that's, you know, it's a high percentage rate of people pre-ordering. Like I said, that fiscal year starting on Thursday. Oh, buddy, it makes sense. This is a Red Dead tweet. It would be crazy for tomorrow. Dude, even if they just did dot dot dot, dude, would you just flip your shit? You go, what? They don't even just say anything. Play something in between each hour until it drops. Okay. No profile name. Okay, okay. We got little things we can kind of squeeze in there. I gotta make sure we have an overlay so people know what's going on. Of what, like, I got like titles and stuff. I mean, clearly GTA pre-order Hopium. There's one. I'm down for that. Any particular games you guys want to see? I mean, Subnautica 2 is great. We got Modulus is pretty dope. Let's see what else. Icarus is dope. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is dope. It'd be kind of fun to run around the streets a little bit and kind of just see the contrast between the trailer and this. What does the XP mean? What do you mean? Where? What? Where? Where's this? Where's the XP? Yes. Dude, motorcycles and stuff? Brother. Dude, like those masks would even keep anybody from knowing who you are. Oh, GTA. I keep hearing the GTA 5 like do 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 do. Dude, I played so much Grand Theft Auto. Does anybody play roleplay GTA 5? Show of hands, anybody? Class? Florida Keys, baby. I've been to the Keys. It's pretty dope. You telling me you wouldn't hit the guy on the mobility scooter in GTA? Come on. Oh, the XP. I got you. Yeah, it just says who the top chatter is. It says I say keep playing the trailers. Okay. We'll try to keep like most of the overlay and stuff to be like Grand Theft Auto, but if we have something in between. Yeah, I'd much rather be talking to the I mean, we could talk to people and play something, but keep like talking to everybody while we do it, while we're chilling. I thought when you said XP, I thought you were talking about the game or whatever, Jay. My bad, my bad. My fault. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Can you imagine what the roleplay servers are going to be on PC when this hits? Holy cow. Right? And I wonder if they're going to do anything like that, right? Like if they're going to, because they clearly know about it. So do you think they'll incorporate something? Like Rockstar? I don't know. I mean, they've been developing this game. There's been so much money thrown into it. It's anything's kind of possible. Dude, that looks like Stavos. Listen, so if you're joining us, we're waiting till about 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the United States. That's the last, I think, reasonable, logical time something would be either tweeted or dropped. Tuesday's more likely, so tomorrow. A global time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, makes sense. In that range between like 9 a.m. to like noon. So we'll go probably from about 9 a.m. to about 2 p.m. Just for good coverage. Um, we'll be talking about stuff and pointing out details that we see. It says it would be 1 to 2 years after 5M. 5M. Dude, this game, people are going to be playing this game. And anybody who likes Rust and stuff, Rust Console Edition, I hope they're aware of this game, and I hope they plan their time off in November and December because we won't care if they're not adding anything at those time periods, right? Because we'll be doing this. We can still play Rust. I will, but it will be a very small amount. I will be playing this heavy. I think most of us will be. This game is a cultural phenomenon. It is going to shut down everything. This game drops. You got it. You gotta get time off. Look at those muddy hillbillies. They look so dope. Everglades. So this is supposed to be like a Vice City, but like additional stuff, right? Did you hear that GTA 6 has different types of cop divisions? Ooh, I did not hear that. That's dope. Wow, wow, wow. Does anybody know how many years they worked on this game? Must have been a couple years. It's more than a couple. I think we're well past 10 at this point. Yeah, it looks like they added. This looks like such a massive leap from the other one. Do you remember before they would make like small changes and they would just like tell a story in a different location? And they had some cool stuff, but like you're like, all right, I kind of get it. But this one feels like a completely different. Like if you look at this and go back to like the original Vice City, you'll go, okay. No, this game's been cooking for a long time. 13 years, said Jay. Yeah, this seems right. I know it's over 10. What's the price tag they have on this? Money spent so far? It's a lot. Isn't it the most money they've spent? Are you buzzing? I'm buzzing. Yeah, this is a big one. And just the technology that we've seen so far that they have in the game, some of the people that have worked on things, they no longer work there. Some of the things they can talk about, like they're excited to see because they only work on their like spot or whatever, and they're like, I'm excited just knowing that I worked on like the skybox or like another technology, and you're like, dude, I can't. They're like, I can't wait to see it. And I was like, dude, that's a good sign when the developer's like, dude, I'm pumped to play this too. There's so many people working on this game or have been working on it, still are working on it. $3.1 billion. That's a big price tag. Well, keeping that many people employed for 13 years. Yeah, this has to be an absolute knockout of the park. Not that I'm super worried about it. Like I said, my only concern is hopefully the story has the same bite. What are those? Leaves? Somebody said, do you think there'll be hookers in this? Yeah. It's the oldest profession. Why wouldn't there be? Alright, she got the heavies. Lucia. I do notice that it seems like they know how to make male and female models now. It feels like in Grand Theft Auto 5 they did it. Like if you had a girl character, it looked like a dude. Dude presenting. Better glass physics. Yeah, the better glass physics are crazy. The water simulation inside of the bottles is crazy, so they must have some like super efficient way to like do it locally, like in the render range, which is crazy because water simulation is pretty taxing. I know they have a lot of efficiencies and stuff, but like it seems like they've taken it to the next step because this is not a PlayStation. It seems like a do everything simulation box, and I am down. Down. Went through some of the early ones. I like to hunt with my overalls. Dude, just looking at these screenshots makes me feel hot, like I'm living in Florida. And they put so many little hidden details, just Easter eggs and stuff. Like we're still finding stuff in the Grand Theft Auto 5. Can you imagine? I mean, there's the canvas to hide things in this is so much bigger. I can't wait to see what they do with it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We'll do it for about another 30 minutes and then we'll you know, just in case. We'll check some different things too. Butt cheeks. Yeah, so we're just kind of chilling. We're kind of waiting to see if there's any peeps anywhere. Checking the website. We're checking the Twitter. Fire and explosions do look cool. Good point. Even the fire. Hey, you know what? I thought. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. The fires do look crazy. And think about it. The tech that we had back then was like what, 13 years ago? It's got so much crazier, and they're still making tons of money on Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, who's not gonna get this game? I mean, come on. There you go. Wait, right. 53 butt cheeks. Fire simulation looks solid. Dude, it's just the detail they have in this, because this isn't just like a small area. This is the entire sandbox, and the amount of detail they've got on all this is absurd. In the hottest way possible. In the hottest way possible. Yeah, that looks nuts. Dude. Says GTA is just so fun to do stupid stuff and drive around, etc., without even doing any missions. Yes. That's what I'm saying. If the missions are bad, it won't matter. Or I'm sorry, if the story is bad, it's not going to matter. We're just going to beat cheeks. The water physics looks crazy. Or the simulation physics, yeah, whatever, same thing, kind of. The amount of work that you have to put in to get the layers that are happening here, which we look at and go, yeah, that's water. The amount of detail you have to put in, the systems that are in place to make the water not repeat patterns, the reflections, but like the way the surface breaks and like the foam around is like, that's some crazy work. We're just now seeing stuff like that in other games, and it looks like, dude, that looks nuts. Particle system. I keep pointing to the screen as if you can see my cursor. You can't. Lucia. Yeah, remember the first couple ones of the Grand Thefts where you just kind of walked in the water and he goes, "You're dead. You don't know how to swim." You're like, that sucks. Dude, the last Vice City was basically like the rapper story, right? Like inadvertently, like it wasn't like supposed to be like Ice Cube and I can't remember the story off top. Let me think. It was Grove Street. Grove Street. The hot coffee mod. The hot coffee thing was in the game. They had to shut it off because it was beating cheeks. What do you, what do you think this guy's name is? This guy. Why the visor? You're everything else exposed. You got socks on and the visor? What's up with that? You're happy that they had new weapons? Jack says, GTA is so fun. Oh, wait, no, I got the one earlier. Just drive around and do stupid stuff. You right? It says, who's going to find the Easter eggs? Everybody. There's going to be so many. The surface area to hide them is ginormous. So that must be her car or his car, right? We saw that earlier. The one on the left. $13.99 for cigarettes. That's crazy. Oh, wait, no, it says bottles. So we're waiting another 30 minutes, 29 minutes. And tomorrow we're going to hit the earlier session. What was our poll at? 114 people have voted. 61% said that they are going to pre-order. 18% said no, and 21% said they're going to wait to see the price. Is the threshold $70 to $120 or something like that? The base is 70. I'm cool with that because it's Grand Theft Auto. But I'm probably gonna get the more expensive one because it's Grand Theft Auto. Here, let me. I'm gonna grab a snack for a second. I'll play a little music with it. With it though. BRB. Oh. I meant to do the circle, not the target. My bad. Hopium, gentlemen, ladies, loot goblins. So, Tuesday is more likely. That's the retail day where all of this happens. And I think it's going to be a double hitter. It's going to be the trailer, which is going to melt our faces, and then it's going to be a pre-order. Do you hear a TGG POV of GTA? I heard a little bit of it earlier today. I don't know if I heard exactly what you're talking about, though. GTA 6? Yeah, poor guy he took the stream down or whatever. I think because somebody talked him into playing one of the music things. I was like, brother, don't do that. The automatic system's going to get you. Yeah, you gotta really be careful. You gotta play the licensed music that you have a license to, and even then, it can be a bit of a mess. Rusty, Rusty. Specifically, what did he say, Jay? Oh, I did see his tweet, I think. But yeah, go ahead. Oh, yes, Rockstar will post nothing at their usual post time. People will crash out. Pre-orders will go live later in the day on Monday. Trailer theory will drop on Tuesday, and will end with pre-order now. That's possible too. Like, here's the other thing. It's an excellent point. I do think there's going to be a movement in May. Um, I think it's going to be like if you're going to start a campaign like that, you launch it ahead of time and you test it on the back end and you let people know ahead of time. You don't tell them the day of. That's another reason why Tuesday is very likely. Um, because you kind of get things in place so people can prepare something and then you go forward with it. Like very rarely is it like, bam, you know? So yeah, I think the pre-orders may have gone live on the back end somewhere, so they can test things to make sure that links are active. Sure. Has it been officially released yet? No. That's a possible scenario. So it's very likely that a lot of activity is happening now, and we just see it tomorrow during the launch. I don't think it would be. He's right though. Like on the back end, the pre-order would be active. It's just like nobody has access to it. You know, it's just the people kind of like testing the links. But like he's right, it would be staged first, and then it is officially released with the trailer. So yeah, there's a lot of that makes a lot of sense. That somebody's probably worked in the industry or around it. That makes sense to me. Oh. Yeah, you would typically have those kind of like running in the background, and you just test them, and then the active links that people would see, you just don't publish them yet. Because the creators have to make sure that their affiliate links and stuff work. So maybe it's active for them now, and maybe there is activity today. We just don't see it yet publicly. It's not published yet, and like that's just another good reason why Tuesday makes a ton of sense to me. It is the retail day where you do launches, and you will launch this with a trailer. It's not like, hey, here's a pre-order. You get people to bust their pants with a new trailer, and then you go, you like that? I'm selling it. Makes a ton of sense, for sure. 61% said they're going to pre-order. 18 said no. 21% said they're going to wait to see the price. 128 people have chimed in. 128 people. Let's talk about some details here. Actually, let me bring it up on the website. That might be a little bit better to look at, so at least we can point at things. Because there's a section that has Leonidas keys. Here, let me see. Let's see if I get this over here. And see if you can see. Can you see? Can you see? All right, so we're still waiting. We're just kind of looking through details and stuff. At first glance, this does look like a real photo, like you would see in a postcard. Okay, just think about it for a second. This is the game. It's on a console running like this. Look at the detail. It's crazy. So if this is like a mock-up of, and I have seen the map, but like the map project, like that's the speculative map, but I think it's pretty close. Um, yeah, look at that. This would be the keys, right? So then over here is like back up towards the city and stuff. And you can see it on the skyline. That's crazy. Look at that, man. You can see all the cars, the traffic chilling down there. Brother. Like, I'm gonna take a dump off the pier. Do it. You won't. Let's do more. Explore more of Leonardo Keys. All right, this is side scroll. I get it. All right, this is from our. Dang, dude. The keys will be interesting for some of the traffic because if it's anything like the real keys, there's like one way in, one way out, and it's the same bridge. It's crazy. Is that like a radio antenna? Dang, dude. I love seeing the variation in the characters. Daquan Priest. Only raw records. What do they mean by that? Oh, okay. These are the like the 1 second clips that play as you scroll down. Dancers are like my A and R's. What? DJ's gonna be spinning it. Reading it like my mother. Bottom bitch? Everglades? So this is an interesting kind of. I mean, obviously this is an interesting photo. Look at this guy's sunburn. Look at this guy's sunburn. Jokelys, and he has one eye. But okay, the variation in characters and cannons, crazy. Um, and then so like there can be like a dirty surface on top. So like you've got this like decal layer that's like mud, and it's clearly has some bump mapping on it too. You can see this guy's veins, but also you can see the mud. So it looks like that's going to happen in real time. We've seen something kind of like that in Red Dead Redemption 2. So it'd be like that, but like way beefier. So that's crazy. The amount of tech behind that is nuts. And the fact that these characters, well, these are like main characters probably. But like the character system has to be like procedurally generated. So like there's a pool of possibilities, and then it rolls the dice and says, okay, make these characters. Like the way Minecraft seeds are done, right? So it's just crazy that you can roll the dice and get these kind of variations, which is, right? That's nuts. What if Rockstar is doing stuff in the back, like you said? He says, which next week could be pre-order or trailer week. Yeah, that's possible too. And another reason for that, Jay, that's an excellent point. Another reason for that would be their earnings call happening on the 21st. So if we don't see something on the 21st, I think next Tuesday is also a strong likelihood. I think something's happening around here. You wouldn't be testing an email campaign that is the what do they call it? Like the affiliate program or whatever they call it, the creator program. You wouldn't be testing that and misfiring it if you weren't close to it. Like knowing how those work in the back end and how those typically can go wrong, which is often, it makes a lot of sense to me that something's cooking here. It's quite a 1 second clip. You're right. All my dimes in this club, it says, meet my twin. Make it a dub. Bottom bitch. When my mother says something back to you and you go, oh, okay. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Port Gellhorn? Gellhorn? Cheap motels, shut down attractions, empty strip malls. So are the pre-orders here right now, yes or no? No, not yet. Tomorrow's more likely. We're playing it out for like another 15 minutes because I think till about 5 p.m. East Coast, United States is a likely time where something could happen. I think if we see movement, strong likelihood is tomorrow. And I don't think it's going to be separate. I think it's going to be a trailer and it's going to be pre-orders in that order. It's going to go trailer 3 and you're going to go booner and then you go, oh, I want to buy that. I don't see why they would do it like in a staggered release unless they're doing stuff behind the scenes. When's the estimated pre-order? I'm saying logically it makes sense sometime in May. Their fiscal year starts and ends 21st of May. We've got a misfired email campaign that they were probably testing and didn't mean to send to the email list, and it leaked the fact that pre-orders are coming. So, hello. I would be shocked if there was a delay this time around. Maybe that's copium to the max, but still. Yeah, Jugs McGee over here. What is this? It says new girls, new food. Oh, night. Hiring dancers, always. Oh, those are the NPCs, dude. These are the guys walking around. Look at that. That's crazy detail, man. So what makes that so nuts is it's a system, just like Minecraft, like when you roll the dice for a board, like those seeds. Everything has to be kind of like, the biomes have to be kind of arranged, and there's rules for each of the biomes. Same thing for characters. There's like a certain type of character, their movements, their speech, but also like their body type, their build, the dirt level, what they do, their patterns during the day. Like, it seems extremely in depth. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think just following around a character is gonna be pretty funny. You'll see him like hanging out in the gutter and stuff. You're like, oh yeah, that guy's a bum. Of course, that's what he's gonna do. Crazy, 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 crazy. So, tell me that you like your sister without telling me you like your sister. I don't know. I'm making that up. This guy looks like a G. Alejandro. What's his name? Raw? Bautista. I knew a Bautista. He was a tool. Dude, this guy looks like a G. Life is full of surprises, my friend. I think it will all be wise to remember that. Also, I'm gonna shoot you in the legs. Is this like the John Wick guy? I see Lucia. Oh, I was gonna say that looks like the cops, but that looks like a heist. Interesting. Raul's recklessness raised the stakes with every score. Sooner or later, his crew will have to double down or pull their chips from the table. Ambrosia. Pre-order hopefully tomorrow. Yeah. I think what's happening is the staging and stuff's happening in the background now. Whether it's this week or next week. That's my guess. That's my gut on this one. Maybe it's copium, maybe it's hopium. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so look at the different character builds here. Yeah, look at the builds. This guy, the hairy arms, the tattoos, this chick's different. That's what I'm saying. Like, the system to, like, roll the dice for these different, like, systems for the characters is so insane. And the layer, I keep seeing more and more layers, like, when I see this. The type of clothes he's wearing, the shoes. And I do think they have a patent on the way their NPCs like wander around the world. Like they have their own paths that make sense for like who they are. So you'd have to have kind of a not a vibe, but like a bum is not going to go to a corporate job. Do you know what I mean? So their pathways, so the zones are already predetermined, so they kind of know like, hey, I'm a bum, so I would like go up and down the street here. If I'm like a sales guy, I would like go to a building and do this. That's crazy work. Dude, that's what I'm saying. You could just sit down and watch the NPCs interact, and I think that'll be entertaining. You'll go, what? What are they doing? Because somebody came up with that. People, groups of people, large groups of people came up with this over a long stretch of time. So, like, yeah, you can probably just sit back and like watch people do stuff. You've seen it in Red Dead 2. You think the online will be a thing upon release? I don't think so. I think it'll be. I think they'll wait. I'm not sure how long they'll wait. Was that Tits McGee back at the Bayou? Was it? Is that her? I kind of like seeing it in like big form here because details pop out to you. And we know this is all like in-game stuff, so this is relevant to the story. Lucy is here. This is a heist. of some sort. Don Johnson, dude. It says, surely they don't wait too long. I think it'll be like the ones in the past. They kind of let it simmer for a bit so people can play single player, and then they do the release. It makes sense. Probably they need time to, once they have a number. That looks like Jugs McGee. Does she have a tattoo on her boob? I never noticed that before. Hold on. We gotta come up with a name instead of calling her Jugs McGee. I think it is. That looks like a tattoo. Interesting. And I know they seed stuff in these too, like little Easter eggs and stuff. I mean, that's crazy. You're coming out of the heist. You're taking cover behind a police car. That's a lot of heat, brother. That's a lot of heat. It'd be like a month or two. This is after for online. I'm cool with that too, cause I would feel pressed to go play online, but I kind of want to make sure that I play through the story a little bit. Kenny, was it Brewster's? Looks like a Leonida beach bum. Moves like a great white shark. You know what? I think we'd see a lot of the same tech from Red Dead 2. We know how sophisticated those systems are for the animals and whatnot. Interesting. So, yeah, that's what I thought. It says it would be a month or two. Yeah, I think that will be. Interesting. Lucia. I think it's cool that it's like a Bonnie and Clyde type thing. Hopefully they got their own spin on it. They've always got a great story, or they have in the past. November 19th, brother. No work is going to get done. If you have any major projects, clear the board, brother. It's going down. Okay, so we're going to wait about another 10-ish minutes if you just joined. We got a poll going on. Let us know if you're going to pre-order or not. Yeah, there was movement last week, a significant amount. And I do think the email that was leaked, I do think it's real. I think it was a misfire. Best Buy essentially works with another company, I can't remember the name of it, that does like email campaigns, but they also do like affiliate or sponsorships, right? So creators would get a cut of that. That's typically how that works. And, geez, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, so anyways, there was an email that was sent out to creators saying, hey, when the pre-order goes live, here's a link that you can use, and then you will get 5% commission or whatever. And I was like, dude, it doesn't get any more real than that. You know what I mean? So somebody from Best Buy, I don't know, they said, hey, they use vague language, basically saying, those dates are incorrect, but don't put too much stock in it or whatever. But like at the same token, it's kind of vague. So I was like, it sounds like it's still happening, like soonish. So here's the thing. Those typical things happen in the background when you're spinning up a campaign and you're testing, and then somebody who doesn't understand the system that you're using accidentally sends it to the live email list. And then whatever dates were in there were kind of placeholder or kind of like close. And so they're like, yeah, it doesn't really matter because they're testing the email, and they'll just put in the finite dates then. But you don't test those things until you're getting close to the actual event. And then they may be sending out the real one, or they may have already sent it out, and maybe the pre-orders spin up in the background, but it's not published yet to us, because those links have to work for everybody. You can't just drop them at the same time. For the same reason why you test an email campaign, you need to make sure things operate correctly. So I think something happened today, right? If it is happening this week, and I think we'll see something either Tuesday or Thursday. That's my gut. Something's happening soon. Their fiscal year literally ends and begins on the 21st, which is Thursday. The pre-orders could potentially start Tuesday or Thursday. It makes sense from a business standpoint to drop it at this time. If the game is ready and there's no delay, this makes a ton of sense. And typically you would see these things in the United States, because I just go from the Eastern Seaboard in the United States because that's how they operate. But like you would typically see something on a global scale, like launch release or information happening around 9 a.m. to anywhere between like that and like 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if we see something tomorrow, it should be in that block. The only reason why we're doing it up till about 5 p.m. today is there might be a tweet, there might be a drop. They've been known to stealth drop things, so it's just one of those things where we're like, hey, let's just let's answer questions and see what happens, because there's been enough motion happening that you're like, I got that old-fashioned feeling. It's to hire up people that send those to creators. Yeah, like if you're doing an email campaign like that, you test the links. You do that to yourself internally, but somebody who is doing that, which is a very easy mistake to do, you accidentally picked the wrong list or somebody mislabeled it, and then you accidentally sent it out. So like that test email went out to everybody, and they're like, holy shit, it's going to be the 18th? So it's got to be close. Yes, they're probably placeholder dates, but you don't do those campaign tests until you're getting close to the event. You're double checking your work, you know? You make sure there's no misspellings, you're making sure the links work, because nothing sucks worse than sending out an email blast, or you tell your team to send it out, and then something up on the links, and you go, damn it, you know? We got to send it again. So I think that was real. I think it was a misfire, but I think it's very telling, because they're saying things, but they're not saying things, and it was vague. So they're not like, hey, it's not going to happen in May, or it's not going to happen soon. They're just like, just ignore that, right? It's vague. If you read the actual response from the Best Buy dude, it's vague. And I was like, huh. They have to be careful how they say it, too, because Rockstar is like, don't say any shit. It's like, before you send it out, we'll approve it. You know how they lock it down. It's how it goes. So, likely tomorrow, we should hear something, or Thursday, if this week is indeed a target week. I think, yeah, Tuesday has tomorrow is definitely a possibility for sure. Because if so, we should know tonight if they're actually releasing for tomorrow. Not necessarily. They're kind of like, they just drop it. They don't really, you know? This game has so much movement on it that they don't need to. I mean, they're already getting all this earned press now. I mean, we're covering it right now, waiting. You know what I mean? We're waiting, literally waiting. What cheeks? So yeah, we'll start tomorrow relatively early, around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because if there's gonna be stuff, we might see something in the morning up to about noon. Because yeah, when I heard the potential pre-order stuff, I was like, okay, trailer 3 is literally going to be with that. There's no separate thing there. It's going to be trailer 3, and then it's going to go bam, pre-orders, right? That's how it's going to work. Why would you just go, hey, there's pre-orders, guys, and also like later there's something cool? Like, it just makes sense. It's a 1-2 punch. You get them all greased up, and then you go, boom, we can sell you this. So it's going to be together, whatever it is. So, and we know trailer 3 is close. So yeah, and when I heard it was like Monday, I was like, more likely it's Tuesday. And I was like, maybe they got the links ahead of time so they could test their stuff for the creators or whatever. But I was like, Tuesday makes way more sense, because they do these kind of things on a Tuesday or a Thursday. Most likely tomorrow, a Tuesday. Tuesday is the time you do announcements and releases. I don't know, it's kind of old world a little bit, because like that goes back to like retail stores. Yes, we have retail stores, but a lot of stuff's done online. But like that schedule's still based around that old model. And I think the way they do their financials and stuff, it's all kind of wrapped into that too in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, it's Tuesdays. Long story short, it's typically Tuesdays. So I think something's gonna happen. Know what I mean? Okay, we got the votes in. 151 people voted. 62% said yes, they're going to pre-order. 17% said they're not going to. 21% said they're going to wait to see the price. Trailer 1 got leaked? Yeah, boy. What's up? Jay says, chill streamer. Thanks, man. He says, because if we should know tonight if there's actually release tomorrow. And he said, fair. He says, I mean, it would be great if they announced it like tonight. I mean, we'll definitely spin something up and talk about it if there is. Yeah, we've been wanting to do this coverage for a long time, and I think this is the time to start. We almost did it last year, but then they had the delay, and I was like, okay, we'll wait. Because it would just hurt to like have to get all horny about it and have to wait like a whole year, you know? Yeah, I think we're awfully close to this. I mean, 6 months is still forever and a day away for sure. But the good news is there's so many great titles out right now and like fun stuff to do to keep us kind of occupied, and then occasionally we can go in and see fun stuff that's going on here, and then we can just be pumped for it. Dude, I already know I'm clearing my schedule for um like PTO for November. Now I'm gonna have to cancel that if this is delayed. I knock on wood. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think we would see stuff on the website that we're seeing that would be like that. You know what I'm saying? It says you're gonna get the physical copy or just the digital one. I'll probably, if I get a physical copy, I'll probably get it, keep it in the wrapper, and probably like frame it or something. But I'll pre-order the digital one for sure. I have a Halo 2 limited edition. The tin thing is still in the wrapper. I won from a tournament. Halo 2 disc. What's up? No way they delay it again. I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, right there in the trailer, November 19th. It's not like a month. They're like, it's definitely here. Trailer 2 silent dropped, and I'm guessing Trailer 3 will also silent drop. Yeah. They're just going to drop it and then just let the fish go crazy in the pond. Just, that's chum. All right, boys. It's 5:03. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. We should be good tomorrow. We'll spin it up, and I'll have some more stuff that we can kind of point out and talk about while we're chilling, because it's going to be a good chunk of hours. For me personally, I'm gonna think anywhere between 9 a.m. and like 1 p.m. Noon to 11 a.m. is probably more likely, but I just want to start early just in case they just sneak drop it on us. And so we'll just chill and kind of do whatever. And if you guys have questions, or we'll have like screenshots and stills and stuff, we'll kind of go into some of that and just talk about some of the different technology. I might even plug in the stylus, and we'll kind of like mark up stuff, and I'll kind of point out some of the different things, because if you guys get into some of the details of the game, maybe it'll help you appreciate just how insane this game is. The fact that we're not looking at pre-rendered and this is like in game is crazy. I still am looking at this going, dude, there's so much going on here. So we'll do that. I'll help burn the time while we're waiting, and hopefully we get the good news tomorrow. And let's be honest, if the pre-orders are up tomorrow, we're going deep. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you probably in a stream later on tonight. I think we'll do a little bit of Star Citizen with the boys if we can get a multi-crew on the ship. I think that'd be sick. There's supposed to be a really cool event happening, so we got a really cool pilot with us and Mr. Tube, so it should be a pretty good time. So hopefully we'll see you guys then. All right, guys, have a fantastic rest of your evening or day. Latest.